Screen actors, you want to be and look real on camera, right? I'm going to give you 3 rules. When you follow them, all of your on-camera acting will be real and professional. Rule number 1, understand and respect your most important acting partner. And no, that isn't the other person in the scene with you. Your most important acting partner is the camera. Number 2, don't tell the story. Let the camera tell the story. And rule number 3, be natural doing unnatural things. Here's how you master all 3 of those rules. By learning everything you can about the camera frame. The camera tells the story by constantly changing the frame. You probably have a lot of questions right now. Trust me, they will all be answered by the end of this video. If this is your first time here, click subscribe and give the video a thumbs up. And hey, if it isn't your first time, give it a thumbs up. The frame. First, let's talk about a medium shot of you on camera by yourself. And you're going to be performing an action on camera. You're going to be drinking a cup of tea. Seemingly ordinary action, right? However, in the context of the story, in this film that you're in, your character is going to be drinking a poisoned cup of tea. You don't know it, but the audience does. And so what the director wants is to create a sense of tension by seeing you naturally holding that cup of tea about to drink it. So you get up, you go to your spot on set, you go to your mark, you take your cup of tea and you hold it the way you would in life, right? That's real. Well, if you do that, this is what the camera will see. Those dotted lines represent the frame. Does the frame include the cup of tea? No, it doesn't. Why? Because you are being real. That is, real in life. You're not being camera real. You're being natural. And that important story point, well, it's gone. It's not told. It's not revealed. You haven't allowed the camera to tell the story because you are telling the story. So, how do you respect your partner and allow that partner to tell the story? Look at this image. Now you are holding that cup of tea in a very unnatural way. You're holding it up here. Try it after you watch this video. It won't feel right. If you are right-handed, this is going to feel like almost like writing with your left hand. But your job as a professional actor is to understand what the frame sees and to accommodate it and allow it to look real. So always be conscious if any action that you're performing is not in the frame, it's not in the story. Now let's take a look at another wonderful example of life reality challenging camera reality. A kiss. Nothing could be more wonderful and natural than a kiss. See this image? Those are 2 very famous past actors, really famous in the old Hollywood system, Clark Gable and Vivien Leigh. I know a lot of you are going to have to Google them. It's okay, because they were way before your time. No, you didn't see Clark Gable in Breaking Bad, because if it was Clark Gable, then it was his ghost. he's been long gone. So we see this wonderful scene, and it's a romantic moment in a film, and we are swept into the reality of it. It's natural. Let's look at the way it probably was shot. Wow. Clark Gable is standing on a box, and Vivian Leigh has to stand on the outside of the box, and the entire position that they're in looks now very unnatural to you, because it is. Clark Gable, though he was a Hollywood star and a leading man, was short. In a scene like this, for it to look good and for it to look real, he probably would have had to stand on a milk box. Now, how do you think those two actors felt doing that? If they telegraphed that they felt unnatural, if they telegraphed that, hey, I'm a righty, but I'm really using my left hand to write, the reality and the beauty of the scene would have been destroyed. That's another example of learning to be natural, doing unnatural things. It always comes back to what is in the frame. And it's your job to really learn that. When the frame changes, if it's a long shot, it's a different frame than a medium shot, different than a close-up, and very different from an extreme close-up. Find images of Clint Eastwood, brilliant film actor and of course director, who really understands all of the technical aspects of film acting. As Dirty Harry, what is his gun? A .44 Magnum. It packs quite a kick. You will see in close-ups and medium close-ups that Clint seems to be holding that gun pretty close to his face. You probably won't notice it in the movie because the way that it's shot in the frame, it looks totally natural. But if he were really holding the gun that close and he shot it, well, he may not be able to do his next movie. He might at the very least become deaf. Doing unnatural things in a very natural way. Now let's take a look at a very, very interesting contrast between life reel and camera reel. Here's an example of two men who are looking at something in the distance. And the only thing that seems unnatural about it is that we have two frames around them. But picture them in life, standing on a road or on a street. The distance between them is very natural. But if they're going to shoot this in a fairly tight two-shot, this is what the actors would have to do on the set. Wow. Do you normally stand that close to people when you're just pointing out something to them? Of course not. It's totally unnatural. And if the two actors are not total pros, guaranteed when they get into that position, they're going to feel weird. They might even start to feel self-conscious and to laugh. They've blown it if they do that. In order for them to look and be real, they've got to immediately step into that very unnatural position and relax into it and allow the camera and the frame to tell the story. Those are just 3 examples. When you practice, you're going to learn so many, many more. If you practice. By the way, I must give credit. The images that you've seen, I've taken from a book that I mentioned in my last video, Secrets of Screen Acting by Patrick Tucker. If you haven't read it, well, you should read it yesterday. Once again, I'm going to put a link to it down below. Once again, the 3 rules that you want to master, that you must, if you're interested in becoming a first-class pro on camera. Understand and respect your most important acting partner, the camera. Number 2, don't tell the story, let the camera tell the story. And number 3, be natural doing unnatural things. If you've gotten value from this, definitely give the video a thumbs up. And while you're at it, click subscribe. You can take it another step further. You probably just heard my stomach speaking. And I'm not going to tell you what it said. Leave a comment below if you want to share your takeaways from this video with other people and inspire them. I mentioned that I'm going to be leaving a link below to this book that you've got to read, Secrets of Screen Acting by Patrick Tucker. I'm also going to put a link below to a gift for you from me. It's my ultimate guide to self-taping, 21 pages of stuff that you've got to know that will turn your self-tapes into something that people must watch, that they will pay attention to, remember, and most importantly, cast you in films and TV shows because you are so good. Another link you're going to find is to my latest online course, Self-Taping Mastery, which takes a much deeper dive into the whole experience of self-taping. And I'm also offering you some incredible free bonuses. Click the link just to find out what I'm offering. If it's for you, great. We'll get to know each other better. And I'll have the pleasure to become your mentor, your guide toward a fabulous on-camera career. If it's not for you, please definitely get the book, which is free, and start using what you learned yesterday. Always remember to stay laser focused. Always doubt your doubts and learn to be unreasonable.